Hello and welcome to Front Row Racing's PCF League, and it's Friday night and probably fireworks display night for quite a few people, as we seem to have quite a few drivers missing this evening, which is a massive shame. One of them being Kev187, who was online but now isn't. So I don't know whether he's lost his internet or not, but yeah, we've got a few drivers missing, which is really, really annoying, to be honest. I mean, we give up our time to record and commentate, and they don't turn up and don't let us know. Not that I'm blaming Kev on that one, because obviously he was online, he was ready to go, and then obviously something's happened to him, but there is a few others that have just not let us know. Okay, so what we've done is we've had a word with the drivers, because we don't want to cancel it. At the end of the day, these guys are here, they want to race, so we don't want to cancel it. So what we've decided to do is, with there only being a handful of drivers, we'll do a half distance race. Maximum points, half distance. If we'd have done full distance, they would just get so spread out that it wouldn't really be worth doing it. Some may say, well, there's no point doing the race now with not many drivers on, but to be honest there is, because it means that these guys get to score loads of points. Isn't that right, Ray?
Yep, show up, you can get extra points for nothing.
Exactly right. Do you want to click go and we'll send them on their way?
I bet. Why is it?
Oh, is this going to be one of those situations where it won't go because there isn't enough people? Kev snuck in. He snuck in. Talk about lucky timing there. I think we'll still stick with a half distance and not tell Kev, because that way Kev will have loads of fuel in his car. Kev will have loads of fuel in his car and the others won't. Okay.
I might have to jump into the other party and tell everybody to click go.
Quite possibly.
Because I'm not going to be able to start this. Oh, guess what?
Go on.
You can tell how many times I play this game.
Did you?
I'll click start for the set.
You hairy donut. Okay, so that is true. Okay, so round 5, Donnington Park, and I'm quite surprised that a few of the drivers are missing this one, but I suppose, I mean, it is sort of bonfire night this week, or it was on yesterday, and it's Friday, so perhaps there's fireworks displays that people are going to, or if you're James Hulkenberg, you're loved up on the sofa with the missus, watching probably some dodgy romantic film in the hope of getting... yeah, you know what. Yeah,
I bet it's not an American Pie film.
I bet it's not either. I'll tell you what, Kev did join, but he's now gone again, so you may want to quickly send him an invite, Ray, which you can do from there while I return to the garage. Of course, I was going to say, you're right, yeah, Donnington Park, fantastic racetrack, but in these Formula Bs, quite a tricky one, and I reckon we're going to see a few people spinning their car on the way out of the pits. So, will Richie Davey do it? No, he's safe. Kev is back in with us. That's good. Okay, so we've got a 15-minute qualifying session then, and then 5-minute warm-up, and then... Yeah, 15-minute qualifying, 5-minute warm-up. It would be 35 laps, but because there's only a handful of drivers, we knocked it down. I think Ray's put it to 17 or 18 as Richie Davey explores the edge of the circuit. 18 laps. But full points will be scored, and a couple of reasons for that is, one, obviously there is only a handful of the drivers here this evening, and two, if we did the full distance they would just get so spread out there'd be no real race. The longer the distance is better with the higher grid, but I do wonder, you know, whether people are finding these Formula Bs difficult to drive, Ray, because the Ginetta Juniors, we've been having very good turnouts in those, haven't we?
Yeah, sorry, yeah. The Ginettas have been great tonight, and it's been great battles, no matter where you are on the track. Uh, if you're up at the front, or if you're at the end, or if you're in the middle, you still seem to get a battle somewhere.
That is true.
I found it a wee bit tricky when I done a wee bit of first time racing them tonight. So that might play into the hands as well.
That is true. I tell you what, I've just seen a message off Stringy B saying, am I able to race in this league next week? Stringy, do you want to race in this race tonight? Send him an invite, Ray. Because Stringy B is obviously one of our front row racing FRRI days drivers. So oh, Kev's off, is he? Oh, he is. He is. Hopefully that's a sign of things to come. He's off again as well, I think. But yeah, Ray, if you've got Stringy B on your friends list, send him an invite. If not, I'll send him one. Now, obviously, people that we don't know, if they ask, the answer would tend to be no. But seeing as Stringy B is one of our FRRI days drivers in our F1 league, I will send him a message. I will allow him, if he wants to come and take part in this race. I'll send you an invite, Stringy. But yeah, if you want to take part next week, yeah, that's fine. Remind me, I'll definitely put your name down. But yeah, I've sent you an invite, so if you do want to join, you've got about 15 minutes. But be warned, we are in the middle of qualifying, then there's a warm-up, and it's 18 laps. Usually would be longer, but yeah, it's going to be 18 laps. Fuel usage is on, and so is tyre wear. Richie's done a 1:17, which is pretty good, because you did a bit of a practice stroke warm-up, didn't you, Ray? And what times were you getting?
A 1:20.
Well, that's not too bad. I mean, some of these guys will have been doing some practice. So Richie heads up to McLean's and then goes wide before he can get to Coppice. It'll be interesting to see if he can improve his lap. And obviously in these Formula B, he's always gone wide. That won't improve, although it does look like he's lagging a little bit. And we've got Neo and I think that's Kev 187. So it is Neo following Kev. Now, Kev should be fastest around here. I'm going to have to shut down my computer's not on, the lag shouldn't be coming from my end, but I'm going to take my phone off the YouTube channel just in case it is interfering. Kev, we would expect to be fastest around here. I mean, I was saying to you, Ray, myself and Kev, we did hold the world record around here in the Formula A's for quite some time. So Kev knows this track, mainly because he wanted to beat my record times. The pain in the arse decided he was going to take on my home circuit. Because this is my home circuit, I do live only about 4 or 5 miles away from the Donnington Park Grand Prix circuit. And if this race was going on live right now, I would be able to hear the cars. That's kind of how close I am. So Kev, on a 142 at the moment, but that's going to come down by about 20-25 seconds, possibly even more. And as they progress through the session, the track will get grippier, the tyres will warm up, the fuel will run down, and the lap times will reduce. And Kev pops in a 1:18.9, not pole position yet. Jason is in second place, and Richie Davey still in first. So let's see how Jason gets on then, as he heads around McLean's. Nice exit on McLean's and into Coppice. A fantastic blind corner is Coppice that leads you onto the Dunlop Straight, where there used to be a beautiful bridge that's now owned by Chris Evans and donated to a racetrack somewhere else in the world, I can't remember where, through the Fogarty chicane. The Fogarty S's, and then up to the Melbourne hairpin, which is next to one of the entrances of the circuit. Nice line around there. And then into the final corner, which hasn't really got a name unless it's called Roberts. And then onto the Wheatcroft Straight, named as such because the Wheatcroft family did own, I think still do own Donnington Park, or did own it. Tom 18.4, but still only second place, as Dave the Harp goes and puts in a 1:14.7. I think that right there, it just goes to show what kind of speed's capable. And I think Kev, he's just gone and destroyed it with a 1:13.0. So, could they get into the 110s? I mean, actually thinking about it, I know myself and Kev, we were doing sort of 107s in the Formula A's, I think it was. No, 106s. So, perhaps they could get close to the 110s. We've got a little bit of lag going on here, so it's difficult to see exactly where these cars are. Now, it'd be a little frustrating, you know, if the live stream's not working very well. I do apologise. I haven't got anything else on, and we live streamed the FRRI Days Cup event for our Formula 1 leagues earlier with no real issues with the live stream. So if the live stream's not working very well, I do apologise. It's more than likely Project Cars ballsing it up. And what I will do is I'll double tap record the race. So if the live stream is shocking, at least I can put a video out of the actual race itself. So, Ray, what are you expecting? Okay, Stringy B has managed to join us. So a few of the drivers may be thinking, who's he? But obviously a couple of the guys may know him from FRRI days. But well done, Stringy, for getting in. And good luck. Make sure you do your fuel and your tyres and potentially pit strategy. Now, if you are in... Oh, David Harp is pushing. Let's hope he doesn't push so much he leaves... a nugget on his race seat. You can laugh out loud, you know, Ray. You are allowed to laugh on commentary. So yeah, Dave is pushing. I was about to say, I mean, if anyone's watching this,
taking a drink at the same time.
did I just make you spit? You meant to swallow, Ray, not spit. Anyway, Dave the Harp crossing the line. Oh, is Kirsty watching the live stream? I hope not. Kirsty's raised misses, not mine, by the way. Okay, so Kev's in the pits, Dave the Harp's in the pits, Neo Tig in third place, a few seconds off the pace as he heads down Dunlop Straight. But I was just about to say, if people are watching the live stream and are interested in joining our Project Cars leagues, our Ginetta Juniors one, which is hosted on Sundays at 8:30s, that one is full. We've had very good turnouts on there. The Formula Bs have had sporadic turnouts, obviously Halloween and bonfires and fireworks and that a lot haven't helped this week, but if you are interested, feel free to find Front Row Racing on Facebook, send us a message, because it does appear that we may have a couple of spaces available in the Formula Bs. We're on round 5 of 10 rounds at the moment. At the end of the 10 rounds we will be changing vehicles into another fast class of car, but not yet confirmed which ones. What I'll try and do is I'll try and find out for next week which cars we will be using after this season. I would guess it's probably going to be something perhaps in the LMP, one of the LMP classes, or something along those lines. Okay, Mulrine currently in 6th place as he heads to the penultimate hairpin. It was quite amusing when we had the Ginetta Junior race round here. Rian kept saying the final hairpin. It's like, no, it's not the final hairpin. Or he'd say the final chicane. It's like, it's not, well, it is the final chicane, but it is also the only chicane. But anyway, so has Mulrine improved on this lap? He improves his time, but not enough to gain a position. Stringy B then, let's see how he gets on. He's been doing well in the FRRI Days F1 feeder events, improving his driving. But obviously he's had no practice of these cars, this track, no setup, so he won't be expecting much. He said it himself. But in the Project Cars leagues, we have no additional stewarding or anything like that. We just let the game deal with everything, and we just host, record, commentate, post standings, end of at the moment. We may progress it in future, but as with a lot of things we do in Front Row Racing, we've recently started the Project Cars leagues, and it's a way we take a time. We'll let the guys get used to the game, get used to the setups, get used to doing the pit strategies, get used to some of the cars. We'll let our camera crews get used to the camera angles, the commentary teams, getting the points sorted. And then in time we can progress things perhaps. I mean, I know we had someone recently say, oh, why don't you do reserve drivers? Well, reserve drivers is something that we've recently introduced into our F1 league, which is working really, really well. But I suppose I'm a bit of a pain in the backside, aren't I, Ray? Because I tend to say, right, we say we're going to do one thing, so let's do that, and let's make sure we get that done right, and then we can look at doing other things.
Yep.
Oh, I tell you what. You know our night walker. He hosts the FRRI Days events, right? And he usually does the commentary on it, and I help him out with it. But obviously, his microphone has been broken this week.
Went to the pub.
It did. Now,
He's looking for it.
Yeah. Now, before you messaged me, I was working on something because I thought I was going to be doing the commentary on my own. Yes, I did do it. Right, okay. And I was kind of going to do something, and then I thought, no, you know what, I won't. But I'll do it now, right? Because obviously I thought I was going to be doing the commentary on my own. So I was going to start off with the usual, hello, welcome to Full Race at FRRI Days, blah, 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 blah. Nightwalker can't join me on commentary today because he's not working. And then we get this. Oh, hang on. It would help if I turned the volume up. I do apologise. Right, okay. I'll try that again. Okay, we were going to get this.
Edam Hill isn't available today. He thinks it's because his microphone is broken. But I nibbled through it so I could have a go on commentary again. And you could call me Natalie Pink Squirrelum.
Now, you may not have heard what that actually was. So I'm going to play it again. I can't play it any slower, but I'm going to play it again.
Edam Hill isn't available today. He thinks it's because his microphone is broken. But I nibbled through it so I could have a go on commentary again. And you could call me Natalie Pink Squirrelum.
Actually, what?
Right, okay. For anyone that doesn't know, that was the squirrel that joined us on commentary in Monza. All right, okay. And it might pick up better on the video if you watch the stream back. But basically, the squirrel comes on and says, Edam Hills isn't available today. His microphone's broken, but I actually nibbled through the cable. I've done that so that I can take part in commentary today. You can call me Natalie Pink Squirrelham. It had me in stitches. I'm still giggling to myself now, but there we go. The joys of being a commentator. Okay, so Kev187 about to cross the line. Not going to get another lap in. Is he going to improve his time? He does to a 1:12.7. Oh, Richie Davies having a big off. Dave the Harp's going to be able to complete this lap, but Richie Davies has just written his car off, I think. So Dave the Harp then through the Fogarty S's. He's got 35 seconds to cross the line, finish this lap and try and challenge Kev187 for pole position. Now, Dave the Harp's been... Sorry, go on.
No, his qualifying seems to be first or second. But see, when it comes to racing, it's like, oh no, something's changed here.
I know.
To push.
Yep. I mean, Kev's had some unfortunate losses of wheels recently, which has been a bit of a shame for him. And Dave the Harp's just been a monster in the Project Cars leagues recently. I mean, he's actually, if I remember rightly, he's leading both Project Cars leagues with exactly the same amount of points. Because he won... No, he didn't win last Sunday, did he? He came second last Sunday because he ballsed it up on the last lap. Or second to last lap. But so he came second there, but he won the previous 3 races. Project Cars Sunday, Project Cars Friday, Project Cars Sunday, or something like that, didn't he?
Is it not Adam that's leading the Project Cars Sunday?
Last Sunday, Dave the Harp didn't win. There was you, Dave...
Adam back up.
I think Adam... No, it didn't. It put... I will check, because we're in the 5-minute warm-up session now. But I am fairly certain that it did put Dave the Harp first and Adam second. Let's see. Project Car Sunday, round 4 result. Yeah. Oh no, maybe he's not on the same points. Okay, Dave the Harp's leading the Project Cars Sunday League. He's got 83 points. So let's see what he's got for... Okay, he's not got the same points. Okay, he's leading the Project Cars Friday League, which is this. I'll go through the standings in a moment, actually. He's leading this championship, and he's got 63 points. Grable has finished second in every race he's taken part in and has got 60 points. Then we've got Kev187 on 51 points, Neotig Jr. On 48 points, Duofin on 36 points, but he says he may not be able to take part much in the next few weeks because he lives in Finland and his hockey season's started. He did ask if we could change it to another day, but unfortunately Kev's sort of the main protagonist of the Project Cars Friday League. He's the host of it basically, and Friday's the days that he's available. So yeah, Joefin's on 36 but could lose out a bit here. Then we've got GT5 King on 30 points, who's not available this evening. Then we've got M1989 Woolhouse, who's on 27 points. He was online but sent him plenty of invites but hasn't come on, which is a shame. And then we've got Mulrine on 26 points, Bartman on 16, Jason on 13, MyBad on 11. I don't know if we'll see MyBad. He's going through a bit of a tough time at the moment, so if you are watching, Jim, or you watch at a later date, I hope you're feeling better soon, mate. Then Jamie James on 0, Richie Davey on 0 for the Project Cars Friday League. So that's the standings. But yeah, Dave the Harp is leading both of the championships, the Formula B standings and the Ginetta Junior standings. So come on, Ray, when are you going to start beating him on a Sunday?
I'll knock him out the first corner.
Yeah. Well, now you've said that, and if that happens on Sunday, you know there's going to be an inquiry. Dave the Harp will message, sorry mate, there is no stewards. Yeah. But I'm sure you'll get a massive time penalty for it, though.
Oh, what, that 1,000 and...
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, that was quite funny when you did get that penalty of, like, was it 1,500 seconds, wasn't it? At Spa, we'd all finished and you were still serving the penalty. But I don't know. Okay, Stringy B's back into the pits. Now I must admit, this Donnington circuit, it is a fan favourite. The motorbike fans love this place, and also, I mean, I've driven around this track plenty of times on racing games, and it is a fantastic track. I've never driven around it in person. I really want to. Considering how close I live, I really should. But I mean, I car share at the moment. If I took the car I'm sharing around that track, it'd probably fall apart before you get out of the pits. But yeah, I mean, this is a circuit where it's one of those where, like turn 1, Redgate, it looks like such a simple corner, but it's so easy to get it wrong. But when you get it right, you know you've got it right. Turn 2, Hollywood, starts the downhill section. It's not really much of a corner. And then you're into the Craner curves that Mulrine's approaching now. A lovely downhill section. Can really unbalance the car. And then into the old hairpin, named as such because it did used to be a proper hairpin. Then towards Starkey's Bridge, which is no longer there anymore, just here, where they used to have a rocket on top of it. And there was also a Spitfire around here. And then up into McLean's and Coppice, two very tricky but very important corners. Down the Dunlop Straight, which does go downhill quite a lot. And then into the Fogarty S's where you need to carry the speed, and then into the Melbourne hairpin, which is a very good overtaking possibility. I've got a feeling, you know, I'm wondering if we've lost Kev 187, or he didn't put a lap in. We've lost Kev.
Okay,
that's
mate,
a huge shame. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Keep it clean, keep your
Well,
wits
the
about
drives
you
are
as well.
about to get going, and away they do go. So I'm going to retire to the pit box, and we can start watching this race. We'll get there eventually. So that means then, absolutely devastating for Kev 187, but for Stringy B, he's leading the race. Oh, Dave the Harp's lost a wheel already? Oh, he's lost a rear wheel. That's his race over before he even really gets going. My goodness me. Jason, though, now leading the race. It looks like we've got quite a bit of lag going on here, which is not nice. But Jason now leading the race, so that's devastating for Kev 187, devastating for Dave the Harp, two of the championship protagonists, but Richie Davey now having a look at the back of Jason for the lead. Now I've got a feel I will be surprised if Dave the Harp will be there saying, oh, we should restart this, but I don't get to decide that, and neither do you, Ray. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
The guy gets to decide it isn't here.
Exactly. So Jason fighting with Richie Davey for the lead then, as Richie Davey does take the lead, and then we've got a three-way battle with Stringy, Mulrine and... who is it? Neotig, but Neotig's off. He's off. So Stringy B and Mulrine then side by side heading up towards turn 1. There's a huge shame for Dave the Harp. I mean, we did say that turn 1 here can be quite difficult, and it's turned out to be more than just difficult. It's ended his race. Oh dear. I don't know, Ray, whether you want to just go and jump into secretly jump into their chat party and see what's going on. As Richie Davey heads up towards McLean's in the lead with Jason right behind him. And given the standings at the moment, it's actually great for these guys that Kev 187 is out of this race. Dave the Harp is out of this race. Now, could Richie Davey get his first win of the season? He will be hoping so. Let's try and get the standings back up for me. I knew I should have kept that picture open. Now in the Formula Bs, it is kind of easy to lose a wheel, and if you do lose a front wheel, you can get it back to the pits and get it replaced, but your car will go very, very slowly. On the other hand, if you lose a rear wheel, there is nothing you can do. So Ray's... so he's had a bit...
get onto the chat party because I think it would have been sent private.
It was... yeah, okay, it's a bit of a shame that, but these guys are still going, and Dave the Harp was in that chat party, so the race is still going on. So Stringy B may have had a bit of a moment, but he's not that far behind Mulrine, and Mulrine has showed in previous events that he can be fairly good on his tyres. For Jason though, he'll want to keep on to the back of Richie Davey as much as possible, try and force him into an error. Looking at the standings, with Dave the Harp and Kev not scoring any points, Neo Tig only needs to score 3 to go ahead of Kev. And let's see, Richie Davey, if Richie Davey wins here, it's 25 points for a win. It'll jump him up a few places in the standings, but nowhere near enough to touch Dave the Harp or Kev 187. Jason, if he finishes second, it'd be 20 points. That'd put him on 33. That'd jump him right up the standings. So, absolute disappointment for Kev and Dave. I mean, what do you think will be going through their minds, Ray?
Oh, bugger, who set that lobby up? Is it that Scotsman?
Well, I mean, when you think about it, I mean, Kev was obviously having some form of technical difficulties beforehand. He was, in a way, he was lucky to actually get into the race. He'd been able to get in during qualifying anyway, but he did manage to get in just before we headed off to the circuit. But now, once the race has got going, can't get back in. So massive disappointment for him. I don't know at what point he got disconnected on that one, but if he is having internet issues this evening, that could be why. I mean, Richie is off. So the Swede, Jason the Swede, he's gone away from using a blue and yellow Formula B car, takes the green and yellow. Either that or I've gone colourblind, takes the lead as they head towards the Fogarty chicane, the Fogarty S's. Richie won't be happy about that one, will he?
No, not at all. And Yarson, is it Jason or Yarson?
It's Jason.
Is it Jason?
Yeah, yes. I've been causing confusion with I've been causing chaos with his name for at least 2 years now, because we didn't know what to call him, so we called him Yarson, Jason Yarson, right? But when I did ask him, he did say you can call him Jason. But obviously, the Yarson, Jason Yarson kind of stuck, and everyone now calls him Yarson. But as far as I know, it is Jason. Or at least that's what he said we can call him. But yeah, I reckon we all call him Yarson anyway.
He's good on his tyres. Well, on F1 he's quite nice on his tyres. He seems to do quite good on them, so I reckon he could pull away and take the win.
Commentators, because quite possibly he does tend to be a smooth, careful, calculated driver. Whereas Richie Davey may be a little bit more aggressive. Okay, let's have a quick look down the field. Mulrine, he's not that far behind these two guys, you know. Neo Tig in 4th. Can't quite see 3rd place ahead of him. Stringy B in 5th. And just getting onto the Dunlop straight now. Dave the Harp in the garage. Head in hands. Disappointment. Well, head in one hand, beer in the other. And I do mean the one on top of his neck. So the battle at the moment then is for first place. He must have thought he had to go the other side of that cone. Maybe it's one of the jokers we'll have to throw in. Each driver got to go the other side of the cone on one of the laps. I mean, here's a thought for you, Ray. I mean, obviously this race was due to be 35 laps long, but obviously we didn't have full. I've just heard someone hit the wall somewhere. I've heard the sound of car v wall. It's Stringy B. He's into the pits. What was I saying? Yes, okay, so it's due to be 35 laps. Now, tyre wear around here could be a little bit aggressive. We would expect 1, maybe 2 pit stops anyway in a 35-lap race. So, seeing as we're doing half distance, do you think the drivers will try and push these tyres to do no pit stops?
Of course. And I think Richie Davies trying that because he's made a mistake. Is it McLean's the first?
McLean's is the first one, and now he's now got Mulrine closing in on him. I mean,
Jason away.
It has. Now, Jason, he's got the driving style to perhaps make it to the end without a stop. I don't think Richie's slightly more aggressive nature will allow his tyres to do that. So we may see Richie having to make a stop, which will allow Jason to have the choice. As Mulrine goes deep, he goes for the Joker around the cone. He managed to get around the cone, but he also went a little bit on the grass. And the only time you really want to go on the grass is when it's inside a Rizzler and you're having a fun night.
And we're down to 4 drivers. Stringy B's away.
Stringy B is out of the race then. I did think I heard another car into a barrier as Mulrine was approaching the final chicane. So perhaps Stringy, I wonder if he's come out of the pits and had a bit of a moment on the pit exit. I mean, we both know how tricky these cars can be with cold tyres coming out of the pits. Yep. And so Jason then still leading onto the Dunlop straight. Richie Davey, he's dropped a good handful of seconds over the last lap, but I think Richie's quite lucky that Mulrine had his own moment because that has relieved the pressure a little bit.
I'm just watching Neil Tiggins. I don't know if he's got the rear set up. It seems a wee bit twitchy for him.
Quite possibly. I wonder if perhaps he's gone with quite low downforce. Oh, Richie's going around the cone again. I think his tyres are struggling. I mean, this is a circuit where the temptation is to go with quite a lowish downforce, but in actual fact, these cars do benefit from medium to high downforce around this track. They are better off having the grip because you do kind of need it around turn 1, down at the bottom of the Craner curves, through the old hairpin, even through McLean's and Coppice, which Richie is approaching now. You need the grip and the confidence to really throw the car into the corner. I mean, it's only sort of down the Dunlop straight that you want speed, so you may as well go with a slightly higher aerodynamics, use your use your KERS down the Dunlop straight to get you that top line speed, and then you want the grip again through the Fogarty S's and around the final couple of hairpins. So Jason then, he can pretty much cruise this one really, as long as he keeps it on the road, has no dramas. You would think that, you'd think that he'd take this one quite comfortably, but as we both know, in these Formula Bs, it only takes one little bit of tyre on a little bit of grass and you can end up in the barrier losing a wheel. I mean, here's another question for you, Ray. You've got the Formula Bs where we've seen wheels popping off left, right, and centre in the first 5 rounds of this season. So, are you happy then that you race in the Ginetta Juniors, where the chance of losing a wheel is a lot less?
Yes.
No hesitation in that one there.
But it just means if I make a mistake on Sunday or somebody makes a mistake on me, I've still got that chance of keep going, or even if I make a mistake myself, I've still got that chance of going there. Formula Bs, you make that mistake, you hit the wall,
you're in trouble.
You're losing something.
Yeah, I mean, if that happens to you in the Formula Bs, the only hope you've really got is that somebody else does exactly the same thing and you'll have someone to race against. Okay, just getting some information. Stringy B saying that his game got stuck on the strategy screen. So a huge shame for Stringy there. Stringy, what I would say is get prepared for next week's Formula B race. Next week's race will be 26 laps of Watkins Glen. Was that Richie? Richie is in the pitch. I've just heard someone hit the wall. That must be hitting the wall on the way into the pitch, you know. Although Neotig, I don't know if that's shadow covering the front of his car or whether that's a lot of damage. But yeah, Richie Davey into the pits then. So that's at half distance. So it's a long stop for Richie and a short one for Neo.
Is that a tyre? It never changed the tyre. Is Richie's fuel?
I'm wondering if Richie's fueling. Quite possibly, but yeah, Stringy, get prepared for next week. Watkins Glen, 26 laps around there will be quite an interesting one. So Mulrine then up to second place with Jason still leading, and I tell you what, Jason may actually go past Richie Davey while he's still in the pits. That almost looks like that's putting a full tank of fuel in that car. As Jason's heading up to the final corner now and Richie hasn't got going. I've got a feeling that's not gone well for Richie. No, Richie's saying he's stuck in the pits. Oh dear, oh dear. As Jason enters the pits, Richie Davies stuck in the pits. Get bashing those buttons. I don't know what to say on that one. Other than that mechanic's going to be getting a bit of a beating. So Jason into the pits, Mulrine into the pits. That's a really odd one, getting stuck in the pits. And Jason is away. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Not gone well for Richie Davey at all there. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Jason will be loving that one. Enters the pits in first place, sees Richie Davey ahead of him and comes out ahead of him as well. I mean, Richie Davey, that's... Yeah, you've been royally butt plugged there, mate. So, can Mulrine then do anything about Jason, who is ahead of him on circuit? And I tell you what, Neo, I don't think is that far behind him. Yep, Richie's been in the pits about 2 minutes. So, yeah, you've definitely been royally bent over backwards on that one.
Is he damage or is he stuck? He's away now.
Oh, he's going.
You must have damage.
That's possible. I mean, if he did have damage and it was set to repair the damage, that could be why. But he is now going. So get off YouTube, get driving the car, because you need the points. So Jason, yeah, leading the race. Mulrine. I mean, Mulrine's not that far behind him. Really not. You can see the gap there. And Neo has really closed up, but I've got a feeling, I mean, you mentioned it, Neo's pit stop was a very, very short one. So does that mean that he didn't have to put fuel in, or does that mean that he's going to have to pit again? If he's got to pit again, it's disastrous for him. And if he doesn't have to pit again, which he's not doing...
He shouldn't have put, he was warned about how many laps we were doing. So, let's just put the fuel in and just or just change the tyres. I don't know if it's shorter time in the pits.
Well, if you don't have to put fuel in, you will have a quicker stop than if you do have to put fuel in. But I mean, whatever happened with Neo to get the pit stop, it's definitely closed him up to Mulrine here. Maybe Mulrine just had a long stop, I don't know, but Neo's was quite a short one. Either that or Neo's just looked a short stop because he was in near Richie Davey. Okay, message from Kev. Oh, Richie has stopped. Oh dear, oh dear. Okay, message from Kev. My wheel stopped functioning in-game but worked everywhere else. Tried to restart, but hey-ho, you don't have bloody notifications on. That is true, I don't. I'll catch up with some of these messages, but there's action going off on the screen. Go on, Ray, talk us through that.
Neil Tiggy's in behind Mulvine. He's got a slipstream. Williams put his kills into use. I don't think so. I think he's going to be saving it. And coming down the first corner. Just keeping him behind. When would you overtake? I'd say going up the hill.
Quite possibly.
Sure get a good exit out of here. Just get on the power. Neil Tig's a wee bit far away. I'd be looking for an overtake round about now. Well, that's on the Janettas, not on me.
That is true. Okay, quick catch up with a couple of the messages. Okay, Richie Davey saying, I done what Dave said, made a strategy change and done it to the pits. I pressed close, it drove. Dave said don't press close. I hope it means Dave the Harp. Oh, Neo's going for the move into the Fogarty S's. What a move! That was beautiful, but Mulrine may have a better exit. Maybe I'll have to fight back. I know I wouldn't have said don't press close because I know you have to press close. If Dave the Harp said don't press close, he'd probably done it so you can't score the points. But anyway,
I've got a question for you. Why is Neil Tig's red light on and Mulrine's isn't? Is this a harvesting of energy?
It could be. I don't know. It's a good question. I mean, obviously these cars don't have brake lights. Maybe Neo's running wet tyres. Because if you put wet tyres on, then obviously your red light does come on. I mean, it could just be visual. I don't know. Or maybe it's he's just waving his Tic Tacs at Mulrine now. He's got past. Yeah, Kev, apologies. I don't have notifications on. That is true. So apologies about that one. They should have invited you into the group chat that they were in, and then you could have told them and given them some grief. They still may not have invited you in because they need you to not score points. A little frustrating, maybe, I know, but also I don't run these project cars ones. I just commentate. Sorry, Ray, go on.
Richie's just popped up outside. No,
I don't what Richie will be doing. Anyway, we've got first, second and third getting quite close to each other, although Mulrine's dropped off a little bit from Neo, but looks like they're both actually catching Jason. Okay, Richie, you got that one slightly wrong. I said if you press close, then it does change your tyres. Unlucky on that one. Or if I did say don't press close, then that was an error. But I'm fairly sure I did say, because when you enter the pits, you got your pit strategy done. When you enter the pits, it gives you three options. One of them is close. If you hit close, as long as your pit strategy is set to active, it'll do your pit strategy. If you don't press close, it won't do anything because it's waiting for you to tell them what to do. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear on that one. So what do you reckon about that one then, Ray?
Oh, the pit stops, I learnt the hard way. I think I didn't learn as hard as other drivers, but there was drivers doing 4 pit stops just to get the plows changed.
Yeah.
On 2 why is he passing up in the corners?
He'd be sending messages on YouTube. See, I knew they shouldn't have put these digital dashes in these Formula cars. Drivers will sit there sending text messages. I tell you what, though, Neo has really closed that gap up now onto Jason. Oh, he's had a bit of a moment, though, into the old hairpin. Because he's been piling the pressure on and closing that gap. But I'm wondering whether he's got enough fuel in. Now, I did let Jason know that the number of laps had been reduced. But I'm wondering if right now, whether perhaps Jason has got more fuel on than Neo. And that's why Neo is catching up.
Yeah, even though I put see how you've got your litres and then the laps and the fuel?
Yep.
Even though I put the right amount of litres in for the laps, I ended up still with at least 10-12 litres of fuel at the end.
A lot of it can depend on how you drive, because the amount of litres it shows you per laps, it's a guide essentially. So if you do a lot of lifting, coasting, you're going to save fuel. If you drive much more aggressively like Neo is here, you're going to use a lot more fuel. The challenge is coming. The challenge is he going to go for it into the old hairpin. It can be done, but it can be dangerous. He's looking. He's had to back out of it. I think Jason kind of saw that one off coming in. Neo's off. He's off. He's on the grass. He's going to get caught up by Mulrine now. So Mulrine now decides I can get in on this action. Now 2 laps to go. Well, it's going to be 1 lap at the end of this. Has Neo just thrown away his opportunity of taking the win? Quite possibly. Although, I mean, Jason he's really not that far ahead. He really is not that far ahead. This could still come down to the final lap. The pressure is building. There may not be that many drivers left in the race, but the pressure's still on. I mean, if you're Jason now, what are you thinking? Kev's out of the race, Dave's out of the race, the chance of the win is there, you're leading by a healthy distance, and all of a sudden these 2 guys are coming out of nowhere to pile on a load of pressure. Oh, he's slow through the final hairpin. It's in the corners where Neo's catching him then. Perhaps Jason's taking it a little bit cautious. Perhaps he's limited on the fuel. Perhaps he's having to do a bit of lift and coasting as Neo's all over the back of him. Kind of up the inside. Bit of contact, and you know what's going to happen now. Here comes Mulrine. Steals through to take 2nd place, and he's got a chance of taking 1st. And the last time Mulrine raced around this track was in the Ginetta Juniors, where he took the lead on the final lap and then ran out of fuel around the final corner and came about 3rd or 4th place. He's going to have that playing through his mind now. He'll be checking that fuel gauge.
And see that it's the same as last time and gone.
Probably. So, 1st, 2nd and 3rd, all on the Dunlop straight together. Only one more time through the Fogarty S's, and Jason is a bit slower through the corners as Mulrine and Neotig start closing up. We could have an absolutely epic finish from these 3 drivers. I mean, just imagine what this race... Oh, Neo's going for it! Oh, there's contact, and Neo's now facing the wrong way. That's cost Mulrine any chance of taking the victory here, but I kind of can't blame Neotig for trying it. So Jason then's going to come around the final corner to take victory at Donnington Park in the Formula Bs. He'll be absolutely buzzing about that one. Mulrine will take 2nd place, but he was probably setting himself up to attack in that final couple of corners. Neotig went for it, but it didn't work, so it's going to be 3rd place for Neotig. And Richie Davey, do a lap and finish, and we'll let you have the points. See, that's why he's parked there, because he knows once they've finished, all you've got to do is cross the line and you get the points. I knew what he was doing, sneaky bastard. So, Jason then.
That's if he can do it.
Come on, go out. I would crack myself if he wrote his car off now. Maybe we'll have to put a limit. You've got to be within so many laps. But, I mean, okay, absolute disappointment for Kev 187. Disappointment for Dave the Harp. He probably won't be too happy. At the end of the day, if he's lost the rear wing, potentially he's probably been hit on the rear end. But, I mean, Jason will be happy. I mean, it was a rear wheel. I mean, you don't lose a rear wheel by you hitting another car on... Well, maybe he did hit another car. Who knows? So, all Richie's going to have to do now, across the line, he's actually going to be about 8 laps down, so we'll 6 laps, so technically he will have to keep going round, but we did say a few weeks ago that as long as they cross the line after the leaders have crossed, they will score the points, although we may have to bring in some... Well, what we wouldn't want is for someone to start a race, not do a lap, park up, let everyone drive past, crash out, blah blah, and then just go and score some points. But given the situation of this week's race, yeah, let him have the points. But yeah, next time, press close. You have to press close when you enter the pits. As he just nearly spun it around the airpin, I was watching the replay. But yeah, okay, so disappointment that we didn't have the full field of drivers that we were supposed to have. But I tell you what, Jason Mulrine, Neotig put on a great show for us there. Absolutely buzzing from those guys. Okay, so next week it'll be 26 laps around Watkins Glen, and to the rest of the drivers that haven't turned up this evening, get your asses on next week, because the races are getting better in these Formula Bs. The pit stops are getting easier to do, unless you're Richie Davey. Yeah, and also there's only 4 more races, and then we can change out of these cars, and we can let the Fridays drivers have some cars where it's less likely to lose your wheels. Okay, Front Row Racing will be back live on Sunday around about 8:30 p.m. for 14 laps of the Silverstone Grand Prix circuit in the PCS League in the Ginetta Juniors, where commentary team will be GT5 King 786 and myself, and Ray will be racing in that one, hoping to beat Dave the Harp. I think Dave will actually still be leading this particular championship, but Neotig would have been the biggest gainer from this particular race. Anyway, that's it from us this evening, so thank you very much, Ray, for joining me in the commentary booth.
Oh, sorry, thank you.
You're welcome. Excuse me. Thank you very much to sorry. Thank you very much to the drivers for turning up and putting on a great show for us there, and thank you very much to the viewers for watching. At the end of the day, it's all about the racing and the viewing. So anyway, that's it from us. We've been Front Row Racing, and we'll be back again live on Sunday. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.